time has finally arrived to where the last remaining universes go to war as Universe 7's strongest competitors collide against Universe 11's mightiest Pride Troopers as we open up the new year off with a bang as Vegeta challenges and battles Jiren, Frieza targets Dispo as his next victim, and much more, as right now we are going to be diving into the Dragon Ball Super episode 122 preview, the first episode of 2018, and further analyzing, dissecting, and breaking down the events that are scheduled to follow in the upcoming episode. And again, if you guys are new to this channel and have a passion for Dragon Ball, don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button alongside turning on all notifications. That way you guys can be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel in connection to news, information, updates, and spoilers. Hashtag Dragon Ball Squad. With Goku seemingly looking like his Super Saiyan Blue transformation is a bit different than how we've seen previously. Now, many of the fans within the fandom, including myself, have pointed out that something seems a tad bit different with Goku's hair than how we've seen previously when Goku uses Super Saiyan Blue. And one of the many reasons for that is because this specific hairstyle seems to resemble Super Saiyan 2. Now, I'm not confirming that this is by any means Super Saiyan Blue 2, but that's what it looks like based on overall hair design, even though I highly doubt that Goku is going to be tapping into a higher form of Super Saiyan Blue. I seem to find it very fascinating how his hairstyle seems to be a bit different, but nonetheless, this is not by any means Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 2, or Super Saiyan Blue 2. I just simply believe that for this specific shot here, they may have actually just simply changed Goku's hairstyle without giving him a further transformation while under Super Saiyan Blue, as we go into the next shot here with Goku having to trade elbows against Jiren. Now, for me personally, I don't think that Goku should be involved in fighting against Jiren relatively early, because we already know as to what happened prior when Goku fought Jiren under Super Saiyan Blue, and by no means did he stand any sort of chance in putting a dent in Jiren. But it looks like just as Vegeta is going to call out Jiren, so is Goku. So here we get to see Goku and Jiren trade blows, and what's interesting about this is you have to ask the question, how well rested, focused, and recovered is Goku going into this fight with Jiren, considering that there are only 3 fighters left, 3 of the strongest left, one of them being the alpha male known as Jiren, the strongest of the strong. We saw what Jiren did to Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken times 20, so here, I think more or less Goku is signing his death wish and fighting Jiren so early, as we transition into the second shot here with Vegeta appearing behind Jiren and saying, hey, it's me, Goku. So it's not just Goku who's battling Jiren, it's also Vegeta, as we transition into the next shot here with casually Jiren having to punch Vegeta so hard in the face. Just the detail by Takahashi is absolutely amazing. The same guy that did the 1-hour special for Dragon Ball Super episode 109 and 110 is returning to animate one of the biggest fights of the new year, as we get to see Vegeta pretty much get his face caved in by Jiren's fist. And if you look at how big Jiren's fist is in comparison to Vegeta's face, it's absolutely scary, as we transition into the next shot here, and we see how just easily within the flick of the wrist, Jiren just knocks Vegeta back as he focuses more or less on Goku. And I do believe that this is going to be the main narrative of the show, as early on in the beginning, I think that Jiren is going to more or less focus on Goku than how he's going to focus with Vegeta. I don't think that Jiren considers Vegeta to be any sort of threat whatsoever, any sort of opposition while he fights against Goku. So I think that more or less the narrative is going to best suit Goku early on in this fight, as we get to see how Goku even attempts to be on the offensive, as we get to see clearly in the next shot here, he throws an uppercut but Jiren dodges. So I think that early on, Jiren is going to completely toy around with Goku, really not giving him the fight that Goku so desperately desires from Jiren. So I think that early on, Jiren is going to make a complete mockery of Goku. As we transition into the next shot here, Vegeta looks to be very angry, even though he gets knocked back. What I find very fascinating about this is despite everything happening to Vegeta, he keeps coming back for more, as it goes on to state, only our Universe 7 and Universe 11 led by Jiren remain. So I do think that despite whatever Jiren does to Vegeta, he's going to bounce back from that, as we transition into the next shot here, and Jiren looks to be very menacing. And again, Takahashi, the way he's portraying and animating this episode, he gives off that vibe that Jiren is going to be such an imposing threat to anyone who stands in his way, and I firmly believe that as we transition forward, this is going to be a problem for anybody who faces off against them. As we transition into the next shot here, and we get to see Frieza. Now, Frieza looks to be very concerned. He looks to be keeping his eye on something, but of course, eventually, this leads into the next shot here, with Frieza genuinely looking like he's in trouble courtesy of Dispo. Now, I will say this, as strong as Frieza is, I don't think that Frieza's final form is going to be enough to counter the speed of Dispo, but either way, Frieza looks like he's genuinely in trouble, unlike how we've seen previously in the tournament. So finally, we get to see someone actually push Frieza into actually trying, which I'm hoping that he does use his golden form in ringing Dispo out at some given point during this fight. As we transition into the next shot here, and it casually looks like Goku is having a good time. He's fighting against Jiren, and he looks like he's all smiles. He doesn't look to be concerned at all, and the person throwing the punches is obviously Jiren, as seen in the next shot here. And what's alarming about this is the fact that even though Jiren is casually throwing shots with Goku, you have to beg the question, how serious is Jiren in this fight right now? Because if Goku's simply having a good time by laughing and keeping his eyes closed and dodging all of Jiren's attacks, then you have to ask the question as to how serious both Goku and Jiren are going into this fight. So easily, casually, Goku is keeping his eyes closed, and with pure instinct, it looks like he's just simply avoiding and blocking off Jiren's attack as we go into the next shot here. And it looks like Vegeta is in deep trouble because the blast, as seen on screen, comes directly from Jiren, and the person having to take the blast is in fact Vegeta. And we get to see, based on what's happening here alone, Vegeta is upside down, and based on the screens having to be displayed, Vegeta looks like he's in a bit of pain after having to look at his facial features, after having to observe how much he's struggling against Jiren. It's safe to assume that Vegeta is going to take punishment, but I do believe in the long run he is going to come back and fight Jiren some more. But also, you have to ask yourself, at what given point during the episode is this blast being unleashed towards Vegeta? Is it towards the beginning, towards the middle, or towards the end? As we also go into the next shot here, and it also looks like Topo is going to be involved for the first time, I think, in a while. We're going to get to see the leader of the Pride Troopers throw down, but the question is against who? As I do believe the next shot having to be shown here actually reveals Topo's victim, as I do think that Topo is going to battle against Ultimate Gohan. Now, during this preview, we haven't seen anything from Android 17, so it's only safe to assume that 17 and Gohan are going to battle against Topo. But what's remarkable about this is we're going to have two team leaders battle, with Topo also assumingly looking like he's not only going to battle against Gohan, but even possibly against Android 17, which I do believe would be a great fit since Frieza's fighting Dispo, Goku and Vegeta are trying to tag team Jiren, and Topo is going to face off against both Gohan and Android 17. As we transition into the next shot here, as we finally get to witness Vegeta throwing down one-on-one against Jiren, and despite what people may say about Vegeta, it looks like he is actually doing well in being the aggressor and going on the offensive and literally having to push Jiren back, which to Vegeta's respect during each of these shots here, it looks like Vegeta is going to be mainly the aggressor as he pushes Jiren back. But the question lingers again, how serious is Jiren and how serious is Vegeta? Is Vegeta going all out? Is he going to fully master Super Saiyan Blue in the anime as opposed to the manga? Because in the manga variation, we get to see how Vegeta had mastered Super Saiyan Blue, but in the anime, not so much. But as we get to see each of these shots having to be thrown, Jiren's blocking them. Jiren's blocking them with his fist, he's blocking it with his elbows, so I don't think that Jiren is going to have that much of a difficult time in having to fight against Vegeta, because I don't think that, to Vegeta's respect, is he going to have enough power to put Jiren down for the count again. Despite how strong Vegeta may appear to be, I don't think that in the long run, Vegeta is going to have any significant effect on really harming Jiren's body. As we get to see the next shot here, Takahashi had done a wonderful job in showcasing Jiren. Now, I want you guys to go on ahead and pay attention to Jiren's expressions. Not only does he look to be very agitated and very annoyed by Vegeta, but it also looks like Jiren is breaking a sweat. But again, as we transition into each of these shots, we get to see that despite what Vegeta may be doing, Jiren is instinctively dodging and blocking off Vegeta's attacks, but it looks like he's doing so very, very aggressively. It looks like Jiren seems to be a bit concerned. He's sweating, so maybe, just maybe, Vegeta is actually going to have some effect in damaging Jiren. But again, we have to wait and see what happens, because just because Vegeta is on the offensive doesn't really mean that he's really going to do significant damage as seen compared to Goku and Hit when they fought him, as we transition into the next shot here, and Vegeta looks godly. His animation, the detail behind him looks amazing. He's throwing haymakers, he seems to be very aggressive, and despite all of this, once again having to see the next shot here, Jiren seems to instinctively move out the way in trying to backhand Vegeta, but Vegeta dodges and kicking Jiren square in the stomach. The thumbnail of the video, I think mostly everybody's favorite shot, as we get to see towards the very end how Vegeta finally gets to nail Jiren, but as noted, Vegeta doesn't only just simply manage to land the kick, but he also manages to throw a huge punch, as Goku even says, "Draw forth power beyond your limits, Vegeta." So again, we have to beg the question as to how effective Vegeta is going to be. It looks like he's going to do better than how Goku and Hit did back when they first fought him, so at least right now, they're going to give Vegeta some importance as a character and seeming believable, as by the very end, it goes on to state next time on Dragon Ball Super, and Vegeta is charging up for a massive and ferocious looking Final Flash, which again, you have to ask yourself, how powerful is this Final Flash going to be, as he effectively uses this against Jiren. And again, the way Takahashi is animating this episode, each character seems to look so godly, as the episode title goes as follows: "For one's own pride, Vegeta challenges to be the strongest," as we transition into the next shot here, as Jiren looks to be very concerned and slightly a tad bit worried, as we go into the final shot of the preview with Vegeta unleashing a massive Final Flash attack. So Dragon Ball Super episode 122 is without question going to be one of the most godliest episodes that we've ever seen in Dragon Ball Super's Tournament of Power, but I would like to know from you guys down below as to who you guys believe is going to have the upper hand between both Jiren and Vegeta in this upcoming episode. Post your comments down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are for Team Vegeta, hashtag Team Vegeta. If you guys are for Team Jiren, hashtag Team Jiren. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to go on ahead and punch that subscribe button alongside enabling all notifications, guys. That way you guys can get my videos whenever something new is posted onto the channel. If you guys have not checked out my second and third channels entitled Unreal Network and Unreal Vlogs, you guys can go on ahead and find those channels down in the description box, as Unreal Vlogs is basically a vlogging channel alongside workouts and motivations, and Unreal Network is a movie discussion channel for various different animes, movies, and all sorts of different discussions featured on there. So make sure you guys go on ahead and subscribe to that channel as well. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Once again, I am hyped for this episode, and if you are as well, let me know down below. Merry Christmas Eve to all of you guys out there watching. Happy New Year to each and every single one of you, and I'm going to see you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.